In what is a major victory for gun rights advocates in California, a federal appeals court has struck down the state's first-of-its-kind law requiring background checks for ammunition buyers, ruling it unconstitutional. In a 2-1 decision, the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals upheld the lower court's permanent injunction against enforcing the law. Writing for the majority, Judge Sandra Acuta said the measure meaningfully constrains the right to keep and bear arms and fails the test of U.S. historical firearm regulations set by the Supreme Court's landmark Bruin ruling. California's background check system, approved by voters in 2016, initially required a 4-year ammunition permit, but legislators toughened the law, mandating a background check for every single purchase when the policy took effect in 2019. Gun owners, led by Olympic shooting champion Kim Rode and the California Rifle and Pistol Association, challenged the law. They argued it unfairly restricted access to ammunition and punished law-abiding gun owners. Their statement: today's ruling is what plaintiffs and many in the 2A community have been waiting almost a decade to receive. It's a huge win for California gun owners. Gun safety groups condemned the decision, calling ammunition background checks common sense, pointing to the California data that showed in 2024 nearly 200 prohibited individuals were prevented from buying ammunition through the system. California Attorney General Rob Bonta vowed to explore all legal options, saying our families, schools, and neighborhoods deserve nothing less than the most basic protection against preventable gun violence. In a sharp dissent, Judge Jay Bybee argued that most checks cost $1 and take less than 1 minute. He warned the ruling could open the door to overturning nearly all limits on ammunition sales. Here's my take. If we already require background checks for buying firearms, why wouldn't the same standard apply to ammunition? The logic is simple. A gun without ammunition is inert, but ammunition in the wrong hands is as dangerous as the firearm itself. Allowing people to bypass checks for bullets undermines the entire system and use weapons that may be stolen, unverified, or unregistered. Opponents argue that background checks for ammunition are inconvenient, but if the process only takes 3 to 5 minutes, that's hardly an unreasonable safeguard when weighted against the potential for mass harm. We already accept security delays in airports, ID checks for alcohol, and permits for driving. So then why is verifying who can buy bullets controversial? If the goal is to reduce gun violence while respecting the Second Amendment, consistent checks for both guns and ammunition should be the baseline. Skipping this step leaves a dangerous gap in our society. Let me know your thoughts.